I've been involved with barbecue, man, since I was a little boy, helping my daddy with his pit, cleaning everything out, lighting his fires.
I don't have like these cool barbecue stories. I'm kind of like Kirby. When I was growing up, it was like the grill came out on the 4th of July, Memorial Day. So like that was like the happiest days of like childhood right there. And I was just like, I think from that, I was like, well, I can't get more of this.
Why ain't we controlling this? Because we started it, right? So we got to speak our truths. And and that's how I got in the game. And I found Jeff, and we hooked up a few times, and it's been history ever since, man. Welcome back to the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast. My name is Charlie Maverick from Maverick Barbecue. How's everybody doing? We got a great one for you today, folks. So let's see who's on the pod with me. Jeff from Outdoors with Jeff. How you doing, brother?
What's going on, Charlie? How you doing, man?
Blessed and highly favored to be with you today. How's the weather over there?
It's starting to get a little cold, man. I realize it's not always hot in Vegas. So, getting used to that. Got the hoodie weather going, and sleeping with the windows open too now. So, loving it. You out there with cigars? Yeah. Hey, after this show right now, I'll be out there in the backyard tonight.
Oh, all right. That's cool. Hey, welcome to the pod. Yay. So I got Brandon from BKC Cooks. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm fantastic, brother.
It's great. It's great. What you been up to?
Man, fighting allergies. I've been fighting allergies for the last few days, man. They've had me down, and it's kind of sidelined some videos I was putting together. So I'm going to try to play catch up the later part of this week, man. So that's what I got going.
Well, I hope you feel better. Glad you're here with us today.
Yes, sir.
Man, we got a good one. Hey, look, it's Joe Miller. How you doing, man?
What's good, Charlie? How you be, bro?
I'm good. How's the weather? Oh, where are you at? Can you disclose that location?
I'm in a disclosed location in Orlando, Florida, man. Traveling for work. So not my normal weather, but it ain't that bad, man. I'm only going to jump from one pond to another good one.
Man, I say to myself every time I watch your videos, this man needs to be on some type of like televised like food creation station or something. You need to take Bobby Clay's job is what I'm trying to say, man.
This is it right here. What you mean? Black Smoke Channel.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Hey, and the man of the hour. He's here, and we're here to talk about him and all about Eddie from Eddie Wright Barbecue. How are you doing today, man?
Greetings and salutations, my brother. I'm also fighting allergies, so please forgive my nasally tone, but we're here.
We are here, man. I'm glad everybody is able to be on the pod today. We got a really great one. I keep saying that, like Steve Harvey. Y'all see Family Feud. So we had a few great guests in the past. We did 3 pods already. Had great guests, great conversation. Hope you listen to all those. Today, we're on Eddie Wright. So it's a lot we want to cover in a short amount of time. So we want to give you the platform, the floor tonight to talk all about you, what you do, how you got to where you are, where you came from. So I'm just going to jump right into it. The thing that people want to know probably first is, how did Eddie Wright get into barbecue?
Eddie Wright got into barbecue as a coping mechanism for PTSD. For those who don't know, I'm a military veteran. So there came a point in time where I was kind of battling a few different things as far as, the usual weight gain, high blood pressure, yada, yada, yada. So doc was getting on me pretty bad. And I always remember, when I was more active, I was able to kind of just shed weight. Anytime I get active, I shed weight, no problem. Yeah. So I decided to buy a new smoker after having a small cabinet smoker, but because it was so low to the ground, I just got tired of it because it's like bending over. It's real terrible on your back. And
for sure.
So we went out and bought us a brand new Smoke Hollow 40, I think it's 44, 48. It was about a 4.5 foot tall smoke on the platform. It's nice window. It's like, okay. So we started cooking, just starting to cook. And at that point, after about a month and a half of just kind of smoking and getting back into it. Of course, we all know that entertaining is what we always love to do as gentlemen and as pit masters. It was also one of the things I did in the military. It was just one of those things whereas you're always cooking to help the camaraderie of the unit you're in.
Right.
It's just a way of bringing folks together. So once I found out I was losing weight just because I'm walking so much in and out of the house, I was like, oh, well, I'll keep this up. And that's the main reason I was into it. I was like, hey, this is helping me on a health wise. So
yeah,
continue to do that and put the APB out. Told some friends online on Facebook, of course, social media. It's like, hey, man, if anybody need anything cooked, just let me know. A couple weeks later, one of my friends pulled me to the side, several of them actually, and was like, hey, man, I think you got something good here.
Now, what was it that you made?
I was just cooking ribs, man. I was just doing ribs.
Okay. Now, were they spare ribs or baby backs? Mix of them?
These were spares. I was not into St. Louis or baby back at that point in time. I was just doing whole slabs, tips included. So when they told me like, hey, we think you should do something with this. And, you know, for me, as the type of person I've been my entire life, I've been very passionate about success, regardless of who gets it. I'm the type of person, like, I don't care who gets the credit as long as we make it. So I've been putting energy behind people and situations and processes my entire life without putting myself in the forefront. So at this point, I was like, you know what? Why not put some energy into me? I put energy into everybody else all these years.
Yeah.
So I did that, and that kind of birthed a very fruitful weekend hobby. And from that weekend hobby, it turned into a 20-foot trailer. From that 20-foot trailer, it turned into a full-blown business. And the pandemic hit, and we were furloughed from our job. And I decided to just turn it on full strength and not look back. And 3 years, in June 2023, to make 3 years that we've been professionally barbecuing as a full-time job.
Man, wow. So you say that this was a coping mechanism. How long did it take for you to realize that was the way that you found your places in?
I've always known it, but it wasn't really keying in. You know, yes, as gentlemen, we always find these things, whether it's wrenching on a car, whether it's wiring something up, or whether it's tinkering at something. Anytime we're using these in our brains, it's a getaway. And we're just kind of in our own world, and it allows us to de-stress and become the best version of ourselves at that moment, where we can feel better. And when I really started to key in on it, it was just cooking in the kitchen. I enjoy just cooking and just being able to feed my people, feed my family, you know. So that's one of those things where I was like, I think I got something mentally here that kind of helps me de-stress. I think I just kind of want to do it and just, you know, just see what happens and be creative. And I just kind of doubt just regular cooking and just made it a specialty, basically turned the barbecue side on, and just turned on the YouTube channel, started making videos, and man, look, the rest is pretty much history.
So did you learn a lot from YouTube? Did you learn a lot from upbringing, being around barbecue, pit masters and all that? How did you hone your skills?
I've been in the content creation framework since since early 2000s. I'm a YouTube baby, I guess you could say that. It taught me so much about everything that I already know, even things that I didn't know. So it's kind of phases. Of course, technology phases, the information phases, everything phases. But over the time of the growth over, I'll say the past 10 years is where I was really kind of head on looking at things, looking at people, the subscriber stuff, looking at people monetize channels. What are they doing? How are they doing this? Like, so I was more in love with just the fact and the opportunity of, hey, I could put something out on a platform and somebody may like it and want to continue to come back to it and see me talk about it. So that was the benefit for me. I was into gaming, still am, but I knew that what I do is not going to be as extravagant as that is. But there's still a underlying success rate, and you got to know what you're in it for. And that's kind of how I just worded it to myself. Understand why you're in this, understand what you're trying to do, and stick to your guns.
So you brought up content creation. Let's just flow with that. We got content creators, a plethora on this podcast. So let's just dig in. We're just going to ask random questions about content creation. So when did you decide that you wanted to not be a YouTube baby, but you want to be like a birth content through YouTube?
I've always wanted to do it. I've been trying to do it like you, and I won't be specific, but there are several channels on YouTube that I have that basically go through the phases of my life where I was doing certain things and trying to do certain things where I was just like, hey, I was dialed in. I just couldn't figure out which one was going to hit. So my philosophy is no matter how many rocks it takes to break that glass ceiling, you throw every rock that you have. And that's pretty much what I was doing. I was enjoying myself. Anytime I felt like I want to do something, let's fucking spin up a YouTube channel, see what happens.
There you go.
And boy, if you really do some digging, and I'm not saying you should, I am not saying that you should. There are some things out there that have my watermark or my name attached to them that are it's all in fun though.
I'm curious now, Eddie.
Oh God, please don't be. Please don't be. Don't judge me.
As I search.
Yeah.
Hey, Eddie, kind of to piggyback on what Charlie was saying, a lot of times me and you talk about the algorithm and YouTube and things of that nature. And I can tell by talking to you, man, you're an analytical thinker, you're a numbers guy. And getting into your actual business and, in looking at your website and how you design that, and I'm gonna pull this up here in a quick second, but you really have this thing down packed basically to give a whole life story and also show all your services, from everything from, selling your rub to ordering lunch for the day, booking an event, going straight to your social media. Talk to me about your process in that, and as far as the analytical side of what you do when it comes to your business.
Okay. One of the things I like to tell people, and I come from a technology background, I've been in technology literally over 15 years, is that regardless of where you are, you want to try and capture your end users in the next phase. Your customer base now is cool and it's awesome, but where your next customers are is where you should put forth even more effort. So that website is essentially what you're seeing, knowing that people spend more times on their phones, on social media and other outlets to get information and certain things. They can go to my website and browse, maybe not even buy, but browse and be able to get the information on me, get my story, know what I carry, and be able to even call to make an order if they don't use the website. That's what I hit out to do with the process, and that's what I feel like I did. Just trying to capture the people, whereas I know my customer base is going and what they will be, while still being able to serve my customer base as it stands and as it has a very strong point in the traditional framework of it. And just looking at the analytics of it all, man, just kind of looking at even Google Analytics gives you a lot of information about how your website is performing, but you just got to understand how to read the data. And I used to hate hearing people say that, read the data, read the data, read the data, read the data. What does that mean? Well, if you look at it hard enough, you'll know what it means. It'll tell you, okay, people are going here, 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 and this is what they may be looking for, and then they're getting off it. And we're looking at YouTube. People are hanging around on your website on certain videos for this long, and then they're getting off of it. From there, you can build a base of, okay, this is what my content needs to look like. Okay, this is how I need to try and funnel my customers into not buying something, but even if they put it in a cart and want to come back to it, that's still an accomplishment. So it's like sharpening small little knives and using all of them, but you just never know which ones you're going to use at that point in time. So for me, just kind of putting all those things together, the website, the analytics, the social media work, it basically helped me to enhance this brand that I have. The food is good, but the visibility And the hometown hero-ness of it is what makes it so organic and what grasps people to it as well. Because 3 of the things people will say when they meet me is either 1, hey, I follow you on YouTube, 2, I've heard about you, or 3, I've seen you all over Facebook. Those are the top 3 comments that come out of everyone's face when I see them.
And man, I tell you, you know, the way that you really dug into that side of the business, a lot of you guys know that my background, I was with Sam's Club as a general manager for 15 years. And I worked with a lot of small businesses and a lot of barbecue guys. And from that standpoint, you know, you see them early in the morning picking up all their meat and stuff like that. And then the question is, okay, well, what's your day look like? And they're like, well, I'm just, you know, I'm going down here to the gas station, you know, and or this spot here in this lot or whatever. And they didn't really have that touch. I mean, I know where you are every day. I can find you because I know on Instagram you post up where you're going to be, but then at the same time where you can order early through the website and things of that nature, man, you've really taken that and incorporated that into a business where a lot of guys really just have it as, you know, hey, we just follow the smell of the smoke. That's how we find them, you know? Right. So, you know, I mean, that's, hey, exceptional on your part, man. I mean, it's great to see that side and that much thought going into the business, because that's what makes the difference there.
Right. Most definitely.
And go ahead, Brandon.
I was going to say, Ed, you know, we, all of us being pit masters and guys who cook, everyone, you know, you always get the comment, oh man, you know, you should open a restaurant. You should open a food truck. You should do this. You should do that. And I tell people on a almost daily basis, I have a passion for cooking. I don't have a passion for running an operation. And I know that you have to have that. Can you talk about how you found that passion to be able to even branch out into making that a full-time business?
Success is my drug, man. That's as simple as I can say it.
I like that.
I love it.
Most people do a wide variety of things, but my drug is my success. I fiend for it. I dream about it. Like, I want it so bad that literally I will forego sleep sometimes and work on a website till 3:00 in the morning in order to get, you know, in order to know that the fabric of what I'm doing is pushing what I have going forward. That's really the best way to summarize it, man. I've tried to keep my experience within this extremely organic, meaning I do it every day, but I don't do it every day. Therefore, it creates a want or need for my services when people don't have. And from that, it builds a reputation. From that reputation, it builds a standard that, you know, you can call me when you need this service. You call them when you need just this. You know, so you kind of just break away from, and it's nothing wrong with breaking away from the crowd. Not everybody can do everything. Like, I'm a no grease type of guy. I don't do French fries or any of that. And people will be upset with me. I'm like, hey, I do barbecue. You can come here for French fries. If you did, I'm sorry. So to go back into what you were saying, success is my drug, but more than anything, keeping the experience organic and growing it organically has been the mission. I could have struck out and opened a brick and mortar months ago, but it wouldn't have been organic. It wouldn't have been what was needed to happen. Now, I have no more space for anything within this home I'm in currently. I don't have a choice. That's how organic it is. I'm being forced to move this into something larger. And with that, you know, I'm moving it into something larger, and I want people to understand that, hey, this is a process. Right. We're not working with daddy's money. We're not working with FHA or anybody else's loan money. We're working with the company's money or whoever wants to let us borrow something, if we even feel like we need it. So if we do decide to pull the trigger on something even more, because we are kind of looking at some things, I want everybody to understand it is a process. That's the love of what we do. It may not be outfitted top to bottom, left to right when you first see it, but as you keep coming back, something will change. more and more. It'll be more diverse. It'll be more welcoming. But that's a journey. That's the journey. And just like the journey I've been on with this barbecue, even thinking about having a brick and mortar, not a restaurant, but just having a safe location for people to come and get food and be able to tell them, hey, this is going to transition as time goes on as you continue to support. It's like pouring your money into a vehicle or rebuilding a truck. You're not sure what it's going to look like, but every time you buy a part, you put it on there and it's coming along. Hey man, it's coming along brick by brick by brick by brick. That's how I'm building this thing. And that's what I'm sticking to.
That's solid, Eddie. All right, I got a question for you, Eddie.
What you got?
So everything that you said obviously makes sense to me. And it's all great, especially when you think about things. And I'm analytical, like probably everybody on this call is. I think everybody in our group, I feel like, is very process oriented. And, analytics and this, that, and the other, one way or another. I don't think you really know how to cook unless you're just somebody that can literally go in there and throw a bunch of stuff into a pot without following no directions or having no type of a process or anything, without being somebody that follows, a certain path and so on and so forth, and being a pretty regimented type of a person. So my question for you, though, is, obviously, I know you've been moving in a short turn of time, and it's about a year now. I didn't know you. Everything has been nonstop, go, go, go. And I can only imagine when you're trying to actually run a restaurant, run a food truck, cater, so on and so forth, how much more at the time that it gives you or takes away from your normal day along with your family. What do you think is going to be your next, as you were kind of talking with your website, looking into your customers' next move and kind of getting one step ahead? Where are you at now with creating, and where does that leave you with YouTube?
It's funny you should say that. I was just talking with one of my best friends about this, showing him something that I put on paper, because I was told, hey, if you want to know if something's works, put it on paper, look at the pros and cons, and just kind of go to war with it on paper. And he kind of said that same thing to me. He was like, I like this. I have some reservations about X, Y, and Z, but more than anything, I don't feel like you've unlocked the true potential of your story yet. And I was like, you know what? I haven't. I was like, and it's hard to do when you're in the monster.
Yeah.
I can't get out of it to take a 30,000 foot view because I'm in it. So currently, one of the processes that are probably in the works is me and him partnering to help break that out and help give those needed details and needed insight into what I'm doing to add a lot of extra character to the content that I'm producing. Because what I'm doing, it's barbecue, but it's not just barbecue. What I'm doing is something that's really special. It's barbecue culture-ish, but in my city, in my state where I am, it is most definitely something that has never been done to this magnitude. And I'm looking to push the envelope and push the idea as hard as I can. Like I said, it's not daddy's money. It's not federal government's money. It's my money. And I feel like with what I bring to the table and the vision that I have, that I can produce something just as unique as anyone in my area, given the chance.
No doubt. I missed that intro. That's why I asked. I told you that day one, that intro. That intro right there, that intro is money, man. That made me feel like I'm listening to some Al B. Sure or something.
That's pretty fun.
I missed that intro.
It's fresh now.
Hey, Eddie, let me ask you this, man, because, following your YouTube channel for some time and keeping up with it here recently, two things. One, when I look at it, it's two things I think of. I think of your parents, because I look at what you have going on with Project Midnight, and then also seeing the story about Sweet Sharlene and the rub. If you wanted to touch on both of those, and just kind of give us a little bit of insight from that.
I'm gonna have to turn my camera off. I don't want to cry in front of y'all.
Hey, man. Take your time.
This is what I'm doing now is not about me. It is about legacy. It is about my family. It is about showing my son that anything is possible with the right amount of work. But more than anything, I have two beautiful parents that were blessed enough to put me on this earth. And I watched a lot of friends lose, and family, lose the people that they love. And it's just, it's gut wrenching sometimes. And for me, I don't even like having the conversation because I'm not ready to have it. But the legacy I would like them to see, the memories that I want them to have is what I'm doing right now. I'm the youngest child of 3, lost my brother to overload of stress. So if whatever happiness I can pour into my family, that's what I want to do. I caretake for my mom. She's a brain aneurysm survivor for 14 years. She sometimes doesn't know what day to the next. Pops is dealing with a little bit of Alzheimer's. He's also a prostate cancer survivor. What do you give these people before they leave that they can remember you by? And that is literally the only mission that is the most important to me right now. That's what birthed Sweet Sharlene. She's seen it. She doesn't understand it, but it's okay because here she's not who she usually used to be, but she knows that I'm doing something with food and it has her name. With my father, of course, my parents are divorced, but and people may hate me for saying this, marriages have a time limit. Love doesn't. My parents are divorced, have been divorced since I was maybe 4. Over the past 3 years, my father literally comes to our house at least once a week to check on everybody. He's been remarried and everything. Still comes by and checks on us. Like there's just something there like you can't ignore. Like nobody's perfect, man. So again, for him, what can I give him to remember? Hey, that truck, it's part of our family, been a part of our family for years. When my parents were divorced, how we traveled was through that truck, me and my brother riding in the back. It's the memories for me. But at the same time, I'm giving my son something to show him, hey, this is our legacy. This is a family heirloom. This is something that will never leave our family. And he's into cars a little bit. So it's like he likes to see that. So for me, it's just simply, at this point, I'm not sure where it will go afterwards. And I don't even like to even think about where it may possibly go afterwards. It's about cementing my legacy, my family's legacy, and letting the world know that I come from great people and I appreciate these great people. And even when these great people leave, you will still be able to have a piece of them on this earth.
Love that. Yeah, I think that's the greatest gift you can give is legacy, man. If they know that they did enough to produce what you've done, I think that's the greatest gift they can receive, man. But you were talking about Sweet Sharlene. What was the development process like coming up with your own rub?
It was difficult. It was extremely difficult. And this is not to shy anybody away from doing it. Like, do it. I encourage everybody to do it. For the simple reason that everybody has something to bring to the table. Everybody has a different flavor. Everybody, no matter what you do, you will always, like if I give you a recipe, you'll still add your little spin to it. There are no secrets. There are only, little tidbits of information in there. So it was a long process, about 1.5 years of development, and it would have been longer if I had not just sat down with several friends of mine as I was giving out samples, and I started to kind of build it in house and bottle it in house, and they were just like, man, it's never going to be perfect. As creators, even as African American creators, we just don't want to see somebody tear what we built down. Amen. That was one of my fears, so I wanted this rub to be perfect. I wanted it to be perfect as perfect could be. And I was holding on to a gem, and I just didn't need to do that. So we got to a comfortable point within the recipe base. We sent it off to a packer. They sent us back what our sample was as we bought it out at in-house and got it as close to that as they could. And that gave birth to Sweet Sharlene, man. And it's been an amazing ride. It's been a fantastic journey. And again, being able to just say that I have something that people are putting in their pantry that's low in sodium and high in flavor that they can appreciate. It's just, I had no idea I was going to be doing this, man. Like, it was just, again, I go places, I don't see people like me sometimes. I'm like, I wonder what if me did something to put me in here and let people know it's me.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into it.
Well, brother, I know it might not be perfect to you, but I've used it several times and it's damn good.
Let me tell you, for sure. From the ordering process to actually using it this past weekend, man, it was a great experience. So going on to eddywright.com, barbecue.com, going over there. Checkout process is pretty fluid. Putting your payment information. The shipping process, straightforward, quick. The packaging, love it. Open it up, resealable bag, love it.
Yeah.
That's thought, put into it. I took a look at the granules, and I remember you do the seasoning taste test on your channel, and just thinking about that and looking at what you produced, can tell you really put a lot of thought into, because seasoning is so it's the thing that makes it what it is. It's your touch on it. You can do the techniques or whatever that you do when cooking, but that is your staple. That is your imprint on the culture right there.
Right.
And man, it is good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. And that was all research, man. It was really all research. Like, all those tastings I did on the channel before I stopped, it was like not knowing it first. Like, I was literally just getting to know the area of just packaged rubs within the barbecue domain and how they were, what was in them, how they were packed, what they spread like, what the grain was like all of that comes to play when building a rub. So it's like, it's not just go get your season, throw it in a bottle. No, there's actually a real science to it. And I didn't know that until I got into it and started to break it down.
Man, like, was it hard, like, going through the process? Like, what was your pain points going through the actual process of putting it on the market?
Hold on 1 second. Say again. We don't have more bread? I guess some more. Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
What are the pain points that you ran into, the pushback that you ran into putting this rub on the market?
I wouldn't say I had any. I think the only push point I would say to myself was not going with bottles first and doing the pound bags and the 2-pound bags. With it being a new rub that's new to the market, having that much rub will sometimes scare people because the price point may be a little too high. So once we went to bottles, it most definitely helped accelerate the sales and everything else, with it being a new rub coming on the market, and make people will take a chance on $8 before they take a chance on $17. And that's where I had to learn. So it was just me, but at the same time, it was me being new to this, trying to save money and pack it all myself. And, so how we are. I want to cut out the middleman as much as I can. But one thing I've come to learn with this, the middleman is extremely important. The middleman saves you time. And when you're trying to grow a business like barbecue, time is your enemy.
Yeah.
You cannot waste it. You have to use every ounce of it you can and use it appropriately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. I tell you what, Eddie, I want to, everybody else will say that, Deion Sanders is the Mayor of Jackson, man, but you've been doing your thing down there for a long time, way before Deion even got to town, man. Even on some of your videos where you're speaking up, for a while about issues that may come up down there. Yeah. Talk to me about your love of the city and the love that the city has for you.
I've been around the world several times, given the federal government's dollar and the service. So, I just felt like home was the place for me, man. Everywhere becomes home after you're there for so long. So I was like, if I'm going to go somewhere and spend a lot of time and, it's going to transition into being like this, I might as well go back home where people know me. And that's what I decided to do. And that was regardless of all the issues are everywhere. That's one thing people fail to like. If you really want to see some issues, watch KTLA, watch Atlanta news late at night. Get on YouTube and just restream it. Like, it is fucking terrible. So what we have going on is in sense a normalcy, because everybody's battling political issues, infrastructure issues, and things of that nature because of terrible leadership and everything else involved. So to me, it was a no-brainer to come back here and try and change that narrative. If I was going to change the narrative, I wanted to do it around people who I knew, who knew my history, who knew who I was and what I did. And that's why I decided to come back. Even now, people have told me as I was growing this, like, please do not leave Jackson. Please don't leave Jackson. Why they say that? Because so many businesses get in, they get ramped up, they get, where they need to be, and they take off. And it's like, he was like, please don't leave. Please don't leave. Please don't leave. And I'm not. I don't want to. I feel like there's so much going on, and I already know how the cycle goes. I know what's happening in the city. All you got to do is follow the development dollars. It's a no-brainer. And y'all know what I'm saying. So, no, I'm not going to turn my back and move anything I have to a foreign area within the city. Although I know all the cities around me like the back of my hand, it's not my home. It's not what they need. They don't need me. My city needs me. My city needs great barbecue. My city needs a cultural barbecue experience. And that's what I'm here to put on.
Let me ask you this quick, just to follow up. Any political aspirations, man?
No, I'm not running for governor. No. I knew it was coming. How did I know it was coming?
Councilman? Something?
No. Barbecue.
Something, man.
Something.
No.
Barbecue ambassador.
I'm surprised they ain't gave you the key to the city.
I'll take that. They won't, because it's just, it's a reason a lot of military members don't serve in political office, because we don't play the games.
Yeah, you got to play the games.
You got to play the games. And I don't believe in playing the games. I don't want to see your house burned down for me to say, hey, now I can come in here and save it. No, I want you living just as good as I am. This makes no sense. So I don't want that. I would maybe on down the line my mind will change in my 50s and 60s, but right now, no. I'm cool being Eddie Wright, the entrepreneur who can get out here and say what he want and do what he want and share what he want, and not have to worry about anybody saying anything to me. Because at the end of the day, I'm not bought. I am paid for and budgeted by myself.
Say it louder.
Amen.
There you go.
Amen to that. So I got a question. I'll get you out of political hell, shall we call it?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
For what it's worth. So are we gonna see let's see, a brother, cousin, sister, Sweet Sharlene, more or less, not necessarily another rub, because I know I asked you that one not too long ago when we was on the horn, but do you see yourself ever trying to get into the barbecue game as far as coming with a sauce? Something to compliment it?
Yes. And we have several projects right now that I cannot talk about.
I was about to say, don't give away nothing you ain't supposed to.
I'm not. We have several projects that we are working on right now that I cannot speak of. That it is a game changer, and I'm excited, but there are a lot of things that have to take place before we get to that point. So to answer your question, yeah, there are other things in the framework. We've got an AP we're in the process of building right now. That AP, hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll have it built out and ready for summer release. Doesn't have a name or anything else. And we're going to see about a sauce probably maybe 2024, fourth quarter 2023. But in the meantime, as Jeff was speaking about primetime and everything he's got going on here, his son released a barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
And I find it very strange that nobody in the barbecue community has bought this sauce and done anything with it. So with that being said, we're going to make some 2 ribs because it's called the 2 sauce. So we're going to make some 2 ribs here probably in a week or 2 before the SWAC championship. And we're going to see if we can ring a bell over there and get them to pay a little bit more attention to me over here.
That's dope.
Oh, yeah. You just got to know the angles, man. You got to play the angles.
I'm going to be looking out for you.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it.
Eddie, I know you also do catering, aside from, when you're just running your food truck. Is there a big difference in your approach as the way you start your operation and the way you plan it out, or are you pretty much doing the same thing and it's just a matter of a different service?
It's pretty much the same thing. It's just a matter of the layers, how many layers we add to the service. Again, it's barbecue. It's nothing fried. So if you want, depends on what type of experience you want. You want a delivered process, you want a served process, or do you want to cook on site and serve process? So there are different layers to it. So we allow people to dial it up, depending on what your budget is, how you want your experience to be. So it puts you in control of how everything's going to roll, and we're just there to help you enjoy it to the with the food and the not the fine dining, but the food and the great sides, man. So that's kind of how I structured it, and it works. It works pretty well with that. We didn't do a whole lot of reinventing the wheel when we wanted to cater versus when we just roll out the food truck for a pop-up.
Man, so which one is your favorite out of the two?
Cater.
Explain to us why that is, though.
More money. And I know I sound terrible for saying it, but honestly,
it's true.
there's more money in catering, but there's more of a fulfilling experience because the people are going to be sitting down, are going to be or be around your area while they're eating, or if you're serving them on site. So there's a relationship that gets to be built there. There's a shop talk that gets to happen there. And especially if you're around a bunch of guys in an industrial area, they're going to want to talk barbecue. They're going to want to see the rig. So there's a lot more to it for me when catering, because I'm all in, man. Like this is all I have right now. So whatever I can do to show you a good time, to make you remember barbecue, and furthermore make you remember Eddie Wright barbecue, I'm gonna do that.
What do they say when you present them with that delicious looking cabbage?
Everybody's question is always, did you run out of cabbage yet? So the smoked cabbage is a fall winter staple here at Eddie Wright Barbecue, and the wedges to even when we do the tailgate cabbage, like it's a no-brainer. People love it, and a lot of people still haven't had a chance to experience it. So we're still crossing new customer lines, letting people experience it. But you got your faithfuls that are always like, hey man, when you get ready to do the cabbage, let me know, give me a call. And I do that sometimes when we crank out a salmon dish, which is one of those things we do pre-order. We do not waste salmon. We'll add some cabbage to it, whether it's a party pan style or the wedges, and people just enjoy it, man. It most definitely works for the vegetarians that come to the barbecue trailer, which is weird, but hey, I'm fine with that. I don't judge.
They smell the smoke. They're like, I
got some cabbage and some beans for you, and some potato salad.
Gas all day.
Sides all day, cuz.
Everybody can get a taste.
So Eddie, question for you. Obviously, you've been doing your thing for a long time, from the content creation side to obviously now more on the business side. Two parts almost. One, have you got to the point where you tired of barbecue? Like working at McDonald's, now you don't want a Big Mac no more. So that's my first question. And then the second one would be, assuming that you're not, what's your favorite thing to cook for yourself?
I'm 50-50. I know how my food tastes. Doesn't mean I won't eat it. I'll still eat it. My favorite two things to eat of my own food are the smoked rotel and smoked tater tot casserole. I love it. Like it's just, I can eat them every day. Smoked rotel, literally, my son can eat a whole half pan by itself. It's dip chip face. It's great. So I'm still in love with certain portions of my food, and I enjoy it even when I try new recipes. But that's the thing of it. I do certain things that most traditional barbecue establishments won't do. I will bend the spoon. I'll go out here and make a cinnamon toast crunch rib.
Ooh. All right.
What's the worst?
We're keen in that.
What's the worst that can happen? Somebody buy it?
I mean,
lemon pepper ribs and rib tips. Who knew?
Hey, look, as somebody that's had those lemon pepper rib tips, let me tell y'all, man, those things fire, man, fire. And kind of tying in that, man, I saw your creativity firsthand at the Atlanta Food and Wine Festival. Not to cut you off, Joe, but I just got to bring this thing in. Because tell them what you made. And I mean, Eddie had a crowd of folks, with TV cameras and everything else going. And this man came up with something.
Somebody asked me for my autograph after that. I was just like, man, is this real? Am I literally like, it was a good time. Like Jeff said, Atlanta Food and Wine Festival 2021. 2021 was an insane year for me and barbecue, man. So much stuff happened. Like I was like, man, I couldn't say thank God enough. It was just crazy. But we got demo time to do to create a custom dish, and let people, tell people how to make it. So my custom dish was smoked chicken cinnamon roll waffle sandwich. So it was a quick way, and afterwards people were like, I like the dish, but who do you think keeps a waffle press at their house? You might want to start keeping one.
It sounds like a you problem, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like a you problem because I have all these things. So it was one of those things where you're home, hungry, need something real quick, canned cinnamon rolls, pop them things open, waffle press, a boneless, skinless thigh, which are great. Cook one of those. You can skillet fry it, grill it, however you want to do. Smash the mug in a waffle press, put a little frosting on top, and go crazy. It's the best hangover food ever.
All you had to say. It will flock for that.
I might need to have a drink just so I can go make that.
I'm telling you, it is insanely good. Do not knock it till you tried it. What the hell is going on with my phone today? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, that's good business right there, man.
To say the money don't stop. No, man, come on now.
It is turkey season, and I am terrified right now. I just put together an ad on Facebook, and I was like, I wonder if this is gonna go the way I want it to. Well, it looks like it's kind of going the way I want it to.
There you go. Get scared now, man. Get that in, man.
All day. So, what keeps you up at night? What's that one thing that keeps Eddie Wright up at night above anything else?
I tried to nail that voice right there, Eddie.
You did pretty good. But so many things, man. So many things keep me up late at night. I don't even know where to even start. Again, success is my drug. Success is my drug, and being creative is my passion. And barbecue is the framework that I do it all. But what keeps me up at night is just, again, I don't put it all in content, but my life has been extremely difficult. And that's what keeps me up at night, knowing that I've got people that depend on me. I've got to figure out a way to normalize certain things in my life, and I've got to figure out a way to relax myself, which is just as important as everybody else. And just the process of figuring all that out, that most definitely keeps me up at night, along with the business. How do you grow a business with your own money without taking out loans? Like it's a lot to think about, man. And if you want to be a big boy, you got to do big boy things. So those are the conversations, the midnight conversations I have every night. Like, how do we push the envelope? How much risk do we take on safely? Risk and safely are two words commonly say in the same thing.
For real.
Yeah. So it's like, but for me, I have to say that because you only get one shot at this.
Yeah.
So
gotcha.
I'm just that. Those are the things that basically kind of keep me up at night.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Calculated risk is something that definitely has to be managed, but yeah.
One last question I got for you, Eddie, because I think everybody got their superhero like music song. What gets Eddie amped? Like the work that done pissed you off today. You got just a whole bunch of work to do. Adversity all over the place. Mm-hmm. Shenanigans afoot. What's that song that you turn on to just get your blood going?
Oh man, I'm playing Her, the whole album, front to back. Like both of them. Like, man, look, good day, bad day, 5 a.m. rise, wake up, time to season ribs. I'm putting her on, man, and I'm just, I'm vibing. I'm in a zone. I'm doing, man. Look, that is every superhero needs his theme music.
That's right.
That's it, right there. Some good, cool R&B. If I'm feeling froggy, put on some yacht rock.
What?
That's more of an afternoon thing, and we just go crazy, man.
Oh man,
I like it.
Good deal. Hey Eddie, where can everybody find you at?
You can find me at EddieWrightBBQ.com. On all social media profiles at Eddie Wright BBQ. I'm very easy to find. Follow the YouTube, follow the Facebook, subscribe to everything, because that is how you can find me and get access to all these great things. And now we have apparel, so make sure you go by my Shopify store and grab you some merch.
For real. Hey, it's been a great conversation. The man of the hour, Eddie Wright Barbecue. Watch it. Go buy the rub. Look, I got one thing to say as we go out. Thanksgiving's around the corner. People want some fried turkey. We try to say don't fry it, smoke it. But if you want to be bullish enough to go ahead and do that, please don't try to have it too close to your house and want to be superhero. Just throw the thing in there. Don't throw it in there.
Brandon, I'm sure you got some horror stories, man.
Man, I have more than I care to remember. I've seen plenty of burnt houses, garages, and turkeys.
I was going to say, did you save the turkey, brother?
Man, most of those turkeys were beyond saving. I've seen them where they were absolutely black on the inside and frozen pink on the inside. I mean,
rookies.
Every year it was a new adventure.
You know, I was laughing the other day because I was watching Malcolm Reed and he was deep frying turkey. He got some on his Crocs. So even, they do it all the time.
I don't play with grease. I don't do it. It ain't easy to put them things out. If you catch fire, like, hey, guess what? None catch fire on the smoker.
There you go. Just clean it. Just clean the smoker. That's it. Just clean it.
Nothing to worry about.
All good. And with that being said, hit Eddie up for that turkey, man. Just save your life. Just save your life and your family's life. That's all I gotta say. Hey, be blessed and highly favored. Until you hear from us next time. This has been the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. We out.
Eddie,
to get the money.
To get the money.